And, okay, we're recording for section 2. Okay, do you remember what we were saying?
You're kind of breaking up.
Okay. Do you have me again?
Well, it's very pixelated.
Okay.
I can't really see your face. I can kind of see your face, but not really.
Yeah, welcome to Skype. Sometimes it's like this. I can see you very well. As long as you can hear me, I think we can continue.
Okay.
So, okay, so I was just saying I was mentioning that I'd never heard that before about the beggar at the door. Was that, so it was a beggar that came to Barrios's door begging for alms? Is that what you're saying?
Possibly. It's just something you hear. She went from house to house. She would knock on the doors and she would sing in return for money. Una Limosna por Amor de Dios means an alm for the love of God. She'd sing a
Ah,
hymn and then they'd pay her.
okay, all right. Well, see, I just didn't, I knew the translation, but I didn't know this backstory, so that's awesome. And I'll bet you there's a lot of other people that don't know that story too, so we're really appreciative of that information. Um, so, let's see here. I'm looking over the questions. Do you ever think about? Oh, okay. Um, so here's kind of an interesting question, and it's kind of a personal one. But I've heard about and I've read about artists feeling certain emotions, or even having like synesthesia kind of experiences where they'll see colors when they play and things like that. And I was wondering, do you ever experience anything like that when you're playing? I mean, you look really intense, likely focused when you perform. So I was wondering, like, do you ever experience anything like that?
Not colors. I have a friend who sees colors, but I just basically it's just emotions for me. Basically, the best thing to do when you're an artist is to just feel nothing but have just nothing but the piece. When there's like nothing around you, when you don't even know there's an audience there, that's the best thing. Um, Usually, it's like being in your own little world, sort
Mm-hmm.
of.
Yeah.
Um, it's not like it really feels like reality, but to me, I mostly feel emotions while I play,
Mm.
um, and nothing else. I hear it,
Yeah, like you're feeling the music and you're hearing it at the same time, but you're kind of in another world, is what you're telling me.
sort of. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to explain. You don't really know what it is like unless you're a performer yourself.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think that I think you just mentioned really good advice because, um, and I might ask you to restate this, but you were saying, when you focus on just expressing the piece, there's no more, I'm in front of an audience, or you're no longer concerned on the same kind of a level about whether you're going to play something accurately or not, right? So,
That's the goal. If you're having a really good day, that's the goal. Like you see these great artists that play, and they don't really like. You can just tell they're really into the music and they don't really notice. Some people I've seen some people play, and when they look up, everybody claps. They look kind of surprised, like there's an audience there. It's really cool. That's a really great artist when they draw you into their world.
mm,
When I
I,
just say, "Oh, I'm here," I'm just playing. I'll get a nice check after I'm done. But no, not like that. They play because for so they can play for people. Enjoy the music.
yeah, it sounds like it's a higher purpose for you. Like and I think and I think that that's something that people would be noticing. At least I'm noticing in your interpretation is that invitation to uh, join you on a higher level. And I think that that's something that's very difficult to achieve because, especially with classical guitar, it's such a difficult thing to do. So I think it takes a lot of
Yeah.
guts. It takes a lot of guts to just say, okay, I'm gonna really go for it here, and whatever happens, happens. And so,
Well, the guitar is a technically, it's not, it's one of a technically difficult instrument to play.
mhm.
I played piano for a long time, and to me, like even though piano music does get more complicated, it was more easy for me to just sit down and just put my fingers on the
Okay,
keys
I'm
than
gonna
it
ask you to
is.
pause again. Sorry.